Good afternoon, good evening, good night, ladies, wherever you are. I'm not sure. Please forgive the quality of this video. It's alive and the lighting is not that great, and the camera quality on my computer, for some reason, is not very great. I tried to play with it earlier today, but it wasn't happening. Anyway, let me introduce myself. My name is Suzette, and I am dancing with menopause. I started dancing with menopause 9 years ago now at age 50. Yes, I'm 59. The big 6-0 is coming up, and I'm very excited about that season of life. Anyway, I started menopause at 59, and it's been quite a journey, as I'm sure that those of you who are experiencing it can attest to. Anyway, the reason that I'm here today is to get Dancing with Menopause started, this channel. I started it back in May of 2021, because at that time, that's when I started experiencing my very severe symptoms. And I didn't take it anywhere. I did one single video, which I have not even made public. But if you guys would like to see it, I can. It's about what happened when I hit perimenopause. And so now that I'm over the hump, now that I've climbed and dug out of the trenches of severe menopause symptoms, I am ready to share, and I am ready to enjoy life more once again. So the caption of this video is exposing my severe menopause symptoms and how I manage them. It's going to be like maybe a 3-part series, because it's a lot to unpack. So like I said, back in 2021, that's when my very severe symptoms started. And they didn't all come at the same time. So in 2021, that's when I started feeling the most anxiety that I've felt throughout the journey, and the most depression and the most hopelessness, and all of that, to the point where I had to take a leave of absence from work. It started with 3 weeks, then it extended to 3 months, then another 3 months, and it ended up that I had been gone for about 9 months dealing with this. How I dealt with that aspect of it is, like I said, taking the leave of absence from work, and I started doing some serious work on my mindset, and that included getting a therapist. I had to go through like 3 therapists before I found the one where she and I really clicked. So just, if you haven't done any therapy before for your severe depression or anxiety, just know that, if you don't click with the first person, that's okay. You can always change. And so I found a wonderful therapist, and she and I clicked, and she helped me a great deal. Now, we didn't just talk about the menopause aspect of it, because months and months before, I knew that I needed to speak with someone, because things were coming up from the past that I hadn't addressed. And I remember during one session, we went to a place where I got very scared, and I almost ended the sessions because I didn't like where it took me. But that was just knowing and highlighting to me that I really needed to revisit some things and get some old things out of the way, sorted, so that I can move on. So I dealt with that. And so it was depression, anxiety, and weight gain also started to become a problem at that point. Moodiness started to become a problem, and forgetting started to become a problem. That was 2021. 2022, that's when the vertigo and the dizziness hit. Now, I've never experienced vertigo at all before in my life. And I remember it was November of 2022. I woke up, I was lying on my back, and the room was doing like this, and I felt as if I was just doing like that, with it rocking, going around in a circle. And it was a really scary experience. So I thought, okay, maybe, I tried to get up too fast or something like that. I didn't even think anything of it. And I got up, I went to the gym. As I was going to stretch after my workout at the gym, I laid down again, and oh my gosh, that room started to spiral. And it was an entire week of having the vertigo and the dizziness to the point where I had to go see a doctor. And something about me, I don't like doctors. I don't like medication. I don't like anything like that. I stick my head in the sand sometimes when it comes to things that I should do with a doctor, because I really don't. In fact, it started like way back when I was young. I always wanted to be a nurse, but then I discovered I don't like needles, so there went that idea. Anyway, the vertigo was serious, and it did eventually go away. The doctor had me do a sleep test, and he also had me do an equilibrium test for my ears to test the crystals or something like that. Anyway, that did eventually go away. I didn't do any treatment. I didn't do anything. It eventually went away because, I'm a believer that things will go away eventually. And in my life, things go away. And so it went away, but the dizziness never really did. And sometimes I'd, find myself falling over, like almost falling over, having to catch myself. And the second time I experienced vertigo actually was just a few months ago. This time it was worse because I had nausea, and it was even more frightening than the first time. I felt absolutely sick. And again, that also eventually disappeared. Nothing that I did, it just disappeared. I guess the body has a way of making these things correct themselves, kind of thing. And the darkest, absolute darkest part of my severe menopause symptoms happened in this past year, when everything came to a head. My depression was more severe than ever. My moods were awful. I couldn't control my emotions. I would just burst out crying for no reason. And then the severe insomnia hit. When I say severe, I mean insomnia that lasted for about 11 months before I got some relief. And once again, ladies, in these 3 years, I've been doing lots of work. I've been reading lots of books, working on my mindset. I had a lot to unpack and a lot to deal with that I guess I had been putting off for the longest while. Then when I got intentional about dealing with my mind and just getting my mindset to the right place, that's when things started falling into place. I started being more intentional also about my health and my nutrition, my physical health. I've always been someone that exercised and tried to eat, healthy and clean and all of that. But this past year, it really drove home the fact that, hey, Suzette, you're 59, hitting the big 60. And now, the older you get, the more challenging it is to, manage weight, especially when you have the whole menopause thing going on. And that it's still a little bit of a struggle, but it's 6 months to my 60th birthday. And I have made a point where in these 6 months, I'm going to laser focus on my nutrition and physical health. And I will be taking you along on the journey with me. And hopefully you can get some kind of motivation or some kind of something, that will help you if you're struggling as well. And so, like I said, this last year has been the darkest. I had some dark thoughts. It's hard to talk about, really. I had some really dark thoughts. I would be so tired to the point where all I could do was cry because I couldn't even sleep. And it was tough, ladies. It was tough. And the depression, like I said, I couldn't control my emotions. My mood was all over the place. And, all of this was going on while I still have and still had and still have the most wonderful life. My friends would be, what is going on with you? Why are you so depressed? Why are these things happening? You have such a great life. And I mean, you should be happy all the time. And it's like, it's, I can't control it. And one of the things that I do is I practice meditation, actually. And as of today, I'm on my 1023rd day of practicing of my meditation practice. And a big part of my meditation practice is gratitude, because I am beyond grateful for this wonderful life that I have that I never even imagined. So having this wonderful life and then feeling so depressed all the time and just bursting out crying for no reason all the time and all of these other things going on, it felt like an oxymoron, right? But that just goes to show you that they're not related necessarily. Because my fabulous life, I should be happy all the time. I should be on top of the world all the time. But when your hormones are not in alignment and your emotions are not in alignment and your mind even is not in alignment, those three, physical, mental, emotional, then all bets are off. No matter what a fabulous life you had, it's still something that is real. The struggle is real, and I know that. And I mean, I'd like you ladies to write in the comments what your menopause journey is like, and share with all of us what it's like. And menopause is a wonderful, wonderful phase of our lives. I like to describe it as our second rite of passage. Our first rite of passage being when we enter puberty and we start menstruating, and we grow into womanhood, where our bodies are getting ready, to bear children and all of that. And the menopause is the other rite of passage, where we put all that behind us and we're entering in a different phase of life. So menopause is not all negative. Don't get me wrong. It really isn't all negative. It's a wonderful celebration of being blessed with life and to enter this phase of life where, yes, we have to pivot, and yes, we have to manage things differently, right? And that's one of the ways that I manage my severe symptoms. I keep reminding myself that this is not all negative, and no matter what, we're blessed to have this phase of life. And it's inevitable, and we will grow past it. And we can learn to manage it in a way that we can still enjoy life. And that's part of what this channel is about. It's not just all about menopause. It's about, while dancing with menopause, enjoying lives, enjoying this freedom that we have of things we no longer need to worry about. When we stop having our period, something like that. And I will address like a lot of things. I'm so excited about this. I feel as if I'm rambling. Anyway. Managing the menopause symptoms, it can be challenging. And I've just touched on a few things that I've done. So please don't get discouraged and not think that I'm not going to cover it all. Like I said, it's going to be a series of videos that I'm going to talk about managing my severe menopause symptoms. Just to wrap up this video, I don't know how long I've been going, but just, oh, wow. To wrap this particular video up, I just want to say that I am now on the other side of those severe symptoms. Yes, I still do have the hot flashes. Oh, I didn't even talk about hot flashes yet. That's going to be in the next video. I still do have hot flashes. I still do have night sweats. The insomnia is under control. And one big change, I'll end the video with this, one big change that happened that helped me to turn the corner: vitamin D. When I went for my annual physical in January, I had my doctor check my vitamin D levels, because I had read an article that talked about vitamin D and the importance of it, especially in this stage of life. And so I had my doctor test for vitamin D. When the results came back, ladies, my vitamin D level was so low that the doctor immediately put me on a prescription, not just over the counter, a prescription. and I had to take one tablet a week for 12 weeks. And that, along with everything else that I was doing, continuing with my meditation practice, therapy, really just getting my nutrition and my physical health under control, those things helped me to turn the corner. And so I'm going to be on vitamin D now for the rest of my life. That's what the doctor said, which is not a bad thing. And so if you are feeling any of these things, please make sure you get your vitamin D levels checked. I'm going to be sharing a lot of information that I've gathered from different articles, and we're going to discuss a whole bunch of things, findings that they have, print that they have published and everything to help us along. I'm also going to be taking you along on a vacation that I'm getting ready to go on to Croatia on Friday. We're leaving on Friday. So I'll bring you guys along, showing you that despite all of those things, menopause does not stop us. We're still standing, and we can still enjoy life while we dance with menopause. So please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. It will help me grow. Please hit the notification bell, and so that you'll know when I have published a video. I'll be doing lives, and I'll also be doing other videos. So please join me on the menopause journey. Come, let's dance with menopause together and make it a fun party. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.